Hello Flowly friends, and welcome to this standing yoga flow where we are going to move with kindness for our knees. So no floor work and definitely no kneeling, nothing like what I'm doing right now. We will stay on our feet the whole time. So if your knees have been stopping you from doing yoga, maybe you've got arthritis, maybe you've got an old injury, or just, that familiar ache that you get when you wake up in the morning. We've all got those. This practice is made for you. You are in exactly the right place. So all you're going to need for this practice is your mat. And if you have got a sturdy chair, bring it in because you might need it for extra support, but don't worry if you haven't got it just yet. Whenever you're ready, we will get started. So we're going to begin today's practice with a really soft little bend into each knee. Now I'll stand on the side so that you can see what I mean. So just really slowly, gently, little soft bend into the knee. So you're not really like putting any pressure into the leg or anything. And then you go to the other side. So switching from one knee to the other, really gently, finding a little bit of rhythm. You don't have to go fast. We can keep it nice and slow. And just keep going from one side to the other. Once this feels okay, you feel like you've got a little bit of rhythm, we're going to just add in a little reach up of the arms. So keep the knees going and then just nice and slowly take the arms up into the air, sweeping them up. A little stretch here. You can hold them there for a moment and then slowly bring them down. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. Keep bending into the knees. And then exhale, we lower down. Let's do one more sweep up of the arms. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, down we go. Perfect. Just come to some stillness. Notice how your knees are feeling, how your body's feeling. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it all go. Perfect. Let's take a nice full body stretch now. So we're going to take the feet a little bit wider, maybe shoulder distance. We're going to sweep the arms up, but take them nice and wide, so wider than your shoulders, and you're actively reaching and stretching through the fingertips on each hand. Feel your torso stretch out here. And if you can, try and lengthen up through the spine. Maybe you feel that little lift right above your hips. Lovely. Breathe in. Let it go. One more, nice big breath, keep reaching. And then on the exhale, nice and slowly lower your arms. Perfect. Okay, let's take ourselves into some hip circles. So keeping your feet exactly where they are, place your hands on your hips and just slowly start to roll your hips around. Now, depending on how your knees are feeling, once you start to rotate, as you press your hips forward, maybe you take a little dip into the knees. So we don't need to bend the knees at all when we do hip circles, but if you can, just to, again, warm them up just a little bit, keeping everything soft. Keep rotating round. And it's up to you how deep you go in the knees. Again, it's all about how your knees are feeling today. So no pressure. Perfect. Come to a little stop and then start those circles with the hips the other way. So start with kind of straight legs. We're not bending into the knees. And then maybe we start to bend as we press the hips forward. So just taking your time, go nice and steady. Remember, if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. That's my motto for everything. We listen to our body at all times. If the body's telling us no, then we listen. We definitely don't listen to that little voice in our heads that says, yes, we've got to keep going. No. Body is boss. Okay, come back to center. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to do some little knee circles. So we're going to bring the legs in a bit closer. If it's comfortable to bring your knees together, then do that. If not, have them separated, but just a little bit. Take a bend into the knee. So any depth that feels comfortable for you. If you feel you can go deeper into it, then do that. But if it's just a really soft little bend, micro bend in the knee, then that's fine too. So what we're then going to do is slide the hands down so they're just above the knees. You can place the hands on the knees if that's okay for your back, but otherwise just be above them. So you're just gently pressing the palms in to the thighs And then just start to circle the knees. Really small little movement. Any direction. Try and keep your back nice and flat and try not to hold your breath here. Now, if you wanted to, if this felt like it was a little challenging, maybe with the movement, you felt like you wasn't very stable, this is where you can grab your chair, just doing exactly the same with the legs, but just leaning down towards the back of the chair, holding it, and then nice and slowly circling around. Perfect. Go the other way when you're ready. So just nice and gently. And again, you have control here. You know how deep you can go into your knees today, how they're feeling. Ultimately, we're just warming the knees up. Imagine that your knees are like butter that's just come out of the fridge, and doing these little movements, we're slowly just softening and warming those ligaments up all around your knees, and hopefully going to make them feel a little bit better. Okay, come to a little stop. We're going to take a little soft bend into the knees. We're going to sweep the arms up, reaching up nice and high. And then as you exhale, we're going to hinge our body forward into a forward fold. So just keeping that little bend, slowly lower yourself all the way down. Again, you might use a chair here. So maybe you just want to come to the back of the chair and hold the back of the chair. Otherwise, you're going to come all the way down. This is going to allow your back to stretch out. You can let your head hang forward. And also you stretching out your hamstrings and into the back of the knees a little bit. So if you wanted to here, you could go deeper into the knees, or you can try and straighten up a little bit. Again, see how it feels. Notice how those knees are feeling. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Imagine that you're breathing into the backs of those knees. And then with each of the exhales you make, then you're releasing some of that stiffness, tension, maybe even some of that pain. If you're feeling any pain or discomfort today, hopefully we can melt that away a little bit. Perfect. One more breath. Let it go. Wonderful. And then we're going to ragdoll rise. So we're pressing the feet firmly into the floor. You're going to draw your navel to spine. Arms are going to hang down, and we're slowly going to roll ourselves up. Maybe your hands are on the back of the chair, and from that position, you're just going to roll yourself up to standing. Lovely. Take a moment here. Take a breath and let it go. Perfect. Okay, we're going to take a little pedal of the feet now. So standing nice and tall, feet are going to be about hip distance apart. We're just going to squeeze up the right heel. So as we squeeze up, obviously we bend into the knee. So again, this is you have control over how high you squeeze the heel, how deep you go into the knee. Slowly lower down and then switch to the other side. Let's just keep that going. Maybe we place the hands on the hips. You could grab hold of your chair if you feel you need to. You can bring it to the side. And just nice and gently going up and down. And again, we don't need to rush it. We're not in a rush today. We're taking our time, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Lovely. Couple more each side. My ankle is clicking every time. Always does that. Oh, I don't know if the camera is picking that up, or the mic, I should say, is picking that up, but it's loud. Okay, wonderful. One more time, over to the left, and then let the foot come down. Okay, we're going to kind of up the ante just a tiny little bit here. If you didn't want to do this next bit, just stay as you was, just doing those little heel lifts. This time we're going to come up onto the toes of that right foot. So you come right up onto the big toe if you like. Okay, nice and gently lower down. And then nice and slowly up on the left one. So this is why we're not rushing it. We're taking our time just so that we can really focus on what we're doing, the movement that we're making, noticing how it feels as we do this. You can then notice if there's any twinges or anything kind of coming up. Really slowly. Up and down. Perfect. Let's do a few more of those. And from one side to the other. Are you holding your breath? We don't want to hold our breath. I say this all the time, but yeah, it's amazing how many times we do movements and we retain the breath, don't realize that we're doing it. Perfect. One more to the right and then to the left. Perfect. And then just let your feet relax down. Take a moment here, take a nice big breath and let it go. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to turn this way again. Now we're going to do a little knee lift to the hand. So if you can, try and have your palm of your hand, so it's about hip height, and just have it out in front of you. And then we're going to take a nice big inhale and we're going to lift the right knee up to the hands. Now, this can challenge your balance, of course, so maybe you're next to a wall or you grab your chair again to hold on to for stability. Now, if you don't want to go super high with your knee, if that's a no-go for you today, just lift your knee as high as you feel you can and then just bring your hands to the knee, okay? And then slowly release. Okay, so let's have a go at that. If you're not holding on to anything, you are going to place your left hand on your hip because it's just good for stability. Nice tall spine. Inhale, lift the knee up towards the hand as best you can and slowly lower down. We're going to stick with this right knee, bring it up and down. So also this is great for your hip as well, hip mobility. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Now, if you wanted to, if you're feeling really good at this point, you could go a little faster, but that's up to you. Or you can just stay exactly as you are. And then I always like to do this until really my left leg is starting to get a little bit achy because we're standing on it. So let's do 2 more. 1, bring it down, and then lift and bring it down. Perfect. And I always like to have a little bit of a kind of wiggle out of the hips. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So same again, just bring your hand out, palm facing down, just about waist height. You can take it lower if you feel that feels better for you. Bring that chair in if you need it for your right hand, otherwise hand on hip. And then take an inhale, we're lifting the knee to the hand and dropping down. We lift and we drop. Keep it going. And really try and focus on how it feels as well as the movement, because then you can kind of gauge, can I go faster? Or maybe I lift my hand, maybe I can lift my hand, I can go a little bit higher with the knee. See how it feels. So again, remember there's no pressure here to do a stage up. We don't need to keep taking it up a notch if we feel that we can't today, because just that little bit of movement is definitely going to help you. Start small. We can always up the ante on another day or another time when you're feeling a little better. Perfect. Let's do 1 more. Lift up and lower. Lovely. Take a little shake out of your legs. So we're going to do a little hamstring stretch now. This hamstring stretch is nice and gentle, and hopefully it might stretch out the back of the knee as well. So with your feet about hip distance, take a little step forward with that right foot. Sole of the foot fully connected to the floor. Leg is nice and straight here. You might take a little soft bend in your left knee. Now, we are going to come forwards in a minute, but we're going to slide the hands down the legs. If you feel that you would need a little bit more support, grab your chair. That's going to come in front of you. And you're just going to place your hands on the back of the chair, okay? Otherwise, we're going to bring the hands to the top of this right thigh. We take an inhale, we get nice and tall through the spine, and then exhale, sliding the hands down the thigh to just above the knee. Lovely, so you're lowering your chest. You're going to feel that little gentle hamstring stretch, and then maybe you feel it go down into the back of the knee. Hold it here, try and keep your back flat. Inhale, exhale. Now make sure your navel is drawn in so your core is nice and tight, and breathe deeply as you rise up, nice and slowly. Wonderful. And then just take a little bend into that right knee, just as a little counter. Perfect. Let's switch legs. So just bring your feet so they're next to each other, and then step the left foot forward. Same again, sole of the foot comfortable to the floor. If you need to take a little bend in that knee, do so, and then take that little bend in your right leg this time. Hands to the top of the thigh or to your chair. Take an inhale, nice tall spine, and then exhale, sliding the hands down. Lovely, feeling that little stretch. Ooh, perfect. Once you feel that stretch, kind of hold it in place. Nice big breath. Exhale, release. Wonderful. Take an inhale, slowly, slowly. Roll yourself back up. Perfect. Bring your feet back. Maybe have a little wiggle out of your legs. I always do like to do these little kind of wiggles and shakes just as a little counter release. Okay, so now we're going to do some warriors. We're going to do warrior 1 and warrior 2, but they're going to be super soft warrior poses today. So you might want to stand a little bit more towards the front of your mat. And then whenever you're ready, you're either going to slide or step your right foot back, but not too far. Let's step it back just a little bit. So a nice comfortable distance. Back heel is connected to the floor. And then you go as deep as you want to go into this front knee. So again, depending on how your knees are feeling, take that little bend. So it could be a really small little bend today. It could be a slightly deeper one. Whenever you're ready, sweep your arms forward and reach them up into the air for our warrior. Let's try and stay here for a few breaths. And if we can, consciously pressing the soles of the feet into the floor. So then this is just creating some engagement up through the legs, which is allowing them to get stronger, to create stability. And that's what we're looking for. Breathe deeply into your body, always into those areas where you feel like, there might be tension or stiffness. And then when we exhale, we hopefully release a little bit of that each time. Wonderful. Nice and gently lower your arms down. Now, we're going to just see if we can just turn the back toes out a little bit here. So transitioning into a warrior 2. Okay, so take a moment. If you feel like you could step that back foot back a little bit further, then definitely go for it. And then same again, just bending into that front knee as much as you feel you can. Perfect. When you're ready, we're releasing the arms out, left arm to the front, right arm to the back. And we breathe here. So reaching and extending nice and tall through your spine. Lovely. Again, pressing feet into the floor. So just that pressing down. Notice how those muscles feel as you consciously press the feet into the floor. They engage instantly. You kind of feel it move up the legs through the calf muscles, through the knees, into your thighs, and in turn into your hips. Lovely. One more breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, lower your arms. Wonderful. Just kind of turn to face that front leg and then just take a nice big step forward, nice and steady. Have a little shake out of your legs. Okay, let's take that to the other side. So left leg this time when you're ready. Just a little step back, not too far. Both feet comfortably pressed into the floor. And then decide how deep you want to go into the bend of your right leg. We're going to sweep the arms up. Nice big reach. Lovely. Settle into the pose. Feet are pressed, rooted to the floor. And we breathe here. So we always try to keep the heart right above the hips as well when we do a warrior. Avoid kind of leaning forward. If you're leaning forward, you're putting a little bit more pressure into that front leg, in turn into that front knee. We don't want that. Lovely. Nice big breath. And let it go. Let's stay here for one more breath. Make it a nice deep one. Sigh out any tension. Perfect. Nice and gently lower your arms down and then into that warrior 2. So we're going to just turn those back toes out. Again, you could adjust, maybe send that back leg a bit further if you feel you can. Same as before, you decide how deep you want to go into this front knee. And then we release the arms, right arm to the front, left arm to the back. Nice and tall. Breathing deeply. Exhale. How do your legs feel in this position? How do your knees feel in this position? If they're not feeling too good, especially that front one, then dial that little bend back. We don't have to go all the way. We can bring it back just a little bit. Inhale and let it go. Perfect. Drop your arms, turn to face that front leg and then take a nice big step forward. Have a little shake out of your legs. Wonderful. And then we're going to go back to our forward fold here. So we're going to take that soft little bend in the knees. We're going to sweep the arms forward, reaching up nice and high. And then exhale, hinge forward, nice and steady. Again, maybe you use your chair here to grab hold of, or maybe you come all the way over your legs. Breathe into the back, the legs, the knees. Lovely, let it go. Now, just as before, you could go deeper into the knees here, or you could try and straighten up the legs. So just find what feels appropriate for your body today. There's never any wrong way to do this here. The only time it's wrong is if it's hurting, and that's what we don't want. Nice big breath in. Exhale. And then we're going to ragdoll rise again. So pressing the feet firmly into the floor, navel to spine. Take an inhale. We roll ourselves up nice and slowly. Taking our time. Lovely. Take a little roll of the shoulders. Let's take a nice big sweep of the arms. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale. Bring your hands down to your heart. Take a moment here. Take a big breath in and let it go. Okay, let's bring it back to our knee circles now. So bringing the legs in a little bit closer. Maybe you bring your knees together, or maybe you have just that little bit of distance between them, but try and keep them quite close. Again, you might grab the back of your chair here. So take that, bend into the knee as much as you want to go here. You might find, we've warmed the knees up quite a bit here. You might find that you go a little deeper, but don't worry if not. Just bring it to a point that feels okay for you. Slide the hands so they're just above your knees here, and then do those circles. Or alternatively, if you're holding onto the back of the chair, that's fine. You're holding onto the chair, you do your circles from that point. Keep breathing. Fabulous. And then take it the other way. Wonderful. And then nice and gently just straighten up. Take your time. Let's go for that full body stretch again. So we're going to take the legs about shoulder distance apart. We're going to reach the arms up into the air, taking them nice and wide, wider than your shoulders. Big active stretch here. Reach, reach, reach. Let's take a nice big inhale. Exhale. Keep reaching. Exhale, let it go. Perfect. Let's bring the hands right above the head here, bringing the palms together. Take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Wonderful. You can bring your feet back in. Wonderful. And then maybe you close your eyes for a moment here, just noticing how you feel. Have that little check-in with your body. And then we are going to take 2 big breaths here. We're going to sweep the arms up, and we're going to imagine that we're gathering up lots of positive energy. So take an inhale, we're sweeping the arms up, gathering all this positive energy up, bringing it into the palms of the hands, and then exhale, bringing it down to the heart. Let's do that one more time. Nice big inhale, gathering up all that positive energy that you're going to carry through the rest of your day. And then exhale, bring it down to your heart space. Maybe you just place your hands on your heart for a moment. Thank yourself for showing up for your body today. And then take a nice deep breath in and a nice big noisy sigh out. Wonderful. And that brings us to the close of this standing yoga flow for your knees. Thank you so much for joining me. Please give me a little like and definitely subscribe for more sessions like this one. And definitely leave me a comment as well, because I'd love to hear how you're feeling after this practice. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care. Bye.